Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am doing well. How about yourself, love?
I'm good. I'm not very hungry, which is weird the morning after a fasting day.
Yeah. I'm going to no problem eating today.
Yeah?
Yes.
Did you just puff powder into
I
your
just
face?
puffed powder up my nose, so don't take that the wrong way, folks. It was just AMLA.
He's taking his antioxidants nasally, I
Yes,
guess.
it's very powdery.
That's funny. How was your workout?
My workout was, yeah, still a little bit difficult. The workout was very good today.
Yeah? What'd you do?
I did chest, biceps, forearms, and abs.
Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder it took you a long time.
Yes, it did take me a long time.
And you didn't do your cardio blitz.
No, I just decided I had to get certain elements in today.
Okay.
Certain body parts really need to get into the workout today. So
Okay, well that's good.
that was my objective.
I did legs today.
Yes.
I actually did some lunges, but I haven't done lunges in about 2 weeks, so I only did 80.
How'd they feel?
They were hard.
Were they?
They were really hard,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is why I only did 80.
Mhm.
I decided, you know what? I'm not doing the other 80. I feel like it's too
So,
hard.
Done and done.
Yeah. So did that, and then I did your cardio blitz at the end of my leg workout.
Right.
So that was good for me. What are you having for breakfast?
I think I'm going to go ahead and do something that's a mystery today.
Uh-huh.
No? All right.
No.
So I'm having oatmeal. And of course, my oatmeal has hemp hearts and amla and chai seeds.
Spirulina, that's not out yet.
Spirulina, the vegan protein powder, blueberries, and I'm about to chop up a banana.
And if you guys want to see the actual list of ingredients and how much of each he uses, it's over on the R&R Journey page.
Right.
You have to scroll down a little bit, but there's a picture I created called Russ's Oatmeal that has all of the stuff actually on it.
Right.
So you can see the list of ingredients. I feel like I should have a smoothie, but I'm not very hungry, so I'm going to have an apple with some peanut butter, and we'll see. Maybe I'll have more later if I'm more
Where are you going to
hungry.
get your wheat from?
I don't know. I can have a tortilla.
There you go.
That would be yummy.
That would be
So the
yummy.
reason he asked that question is because peanut butter is a really great source of protein, but it's missing a couple of amino acids.
Essential amino
Yeah.
acids, yes.
So, oh, there's Laura. Good morning.
Hi, Laura.
We'll tell you about the documentary in just 1 second. It's called Food Choices. But the reason he asked me about what doesn't have for wheat is that the amino acids that are missing in peanut butter are in a wheat product. So you can get
make
them all
yes.
if you do a wheat product.
Right.
So that's why.
Right. So peanut butter and on toast, for instance, will give you complete protein source to help build good, strong muscles.
The only bread we have right now is
We have the pumpernickel.
rosemary.
The rosemary. We put some
Yeah.
rosemary sourdough, which is really good by itself, but it's
It's
strange.
not really good with stuff
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
strange when you put something on it. So that's interesting.
So yeah, so we didn't do that.
Oh, we have the organic. We still have a whole organic fajita, don't we?
Yeah, we have fajitas.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I said. I'll probably have a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
He calls them fajitas, but they're tortillas.
Yes, you know what I mean.
So anyway, let's talk about the documentary.
Okay.
So it's called Food Choices, and it's on Netflix. It's
on
long,
Netflix.
90 minutes, 2
Right.
hours.
Yes. And
Go ahead.
I was just going to say about the documentary. So we enjoyed the first 3/4 of it, or at least the 3/4 of the documentary. And the last quarter, it really got into cruelty to animals and all
And
that
the
stuff.
slaughterhouses.
And the
stuff.
slaughterhouses, and
We turned it off.
It's awful, and I think it's awful, but that's really not why we watched the documentary. That's just, it's a whole nother
Right. And
avenue.
I don't need that violence in my brain.
Right.
I mean, I already don't eat meat.
Yeah,
I don't need
it's-
animal violence in my brain.
It's sad, folks. So if you don't want to see it, watch. You'll know when it reaches that point, and that's when you want to turn it off.
Yeah.
If you want to know about that, then by all means do.
Yeah, we turned it off because I don't even watch TV and movies in general. So I just can't deal with the violence. So we did turn it off.
Yeah.
But they had some interesting points that I wanted to share with you guys. So we'll give you the cliff notes in case you don't want to watch it. One of the things that they said that I thought was interesting is that as human beings, we're always looking for good news about bad habits.
Right.
And what that means is if there's a tiny little piece of science or, whatever, we grab onto that and we're like, oh, right, this. So there was a journalist who did a fake study about
What was
the chocolate diet.
Was it the chocolate
It was a
diet? Yeah,
chocolate
it was.
diet.
You're right. It was a chocolate diet. Yes.
And she did this fake study and put out this stuff. Oh, you can lose weight on the chocolate diet. Completely fake. And people bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
So I have two issues with that. One, I have an issue with journalists lying.
Right.
Like that is an issue for me in general because we're supposed to be able to trust journalists.
Nobody laughed now.
I know it's bad.
Go ahead.
But the other issue I have with it is that we are, I guess, as Americans, so gullible when it comes to wanting good news that makes life easy. That's my phone. Leave it. It'll go to voicemail. It's fine.
All right.
I forgot to turn my phone off. Sorry. So looking for good news about bad habits. If you find something that's too good to be true, you know it probably is. That's
Right.
not news. The other thing that's not news is that fruits and vegetables are good for us.
Right.
Like,
And we're aware
know
of this.
I'm
Right.
not telling you anything you don't already know.
Right.
So that's something to consider is that when you hear things that are about bad habits that are good for you, it's probably not true. And when you hear things that are good for you that you already know, you poo-poo them because you're like, I already know that. But knowing it and doing it are two different things. So
Yes.
we have to start doing it. I actually had a phone call with someone yesterday who she knows full well that she needs to do this, but she's having a really hard time figuring out how to do it. So we had a conversation about what that looks like and how to get started. So that was a lot of fun. Go ahead.
And you recently had somebody ask for a good substitute for sugar.
Yes.
And the interesting thing about that is if you go on a plant-based diet, or mostly plant-based diet as we are, what you're going to find is you're not going to need a substitute for sugar because foods you didn't realize were sweet are so sweet.
And anything you're using as sugar is concentrated fruit.
Right.
Whatever it is, it's concentrated. So regardless of whether it's a natural source, it's still not good for
It's
you.
still not good.
Because it's concentrated. It's missing all of the fiber and the
Right.
good
And
stuff.
it's messing with your glycogen and you know and your insulin and all that stuff.
So
That's
I would
all that battle that's going on.
encourage you to address your sugar addiction. And I get it. I have a sweet tooth. I do. And when we first started this, it was hard for me.
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't really have a.
You have a
sweet
salt tooth.
I have a salt, and I have a complex carbohydrate. So I like breads. I like potatoes and pasta. That's my weakness. Anything that's complex like that.
Which is way better for you than sugar.
Yes, I guess in the long run you're right. Yes.
So the other thing the documentary talked about was fat vegans. And, I hear this a lot where people say, well, I know somebody who's vegan and they're fat. Or,
Right.
My daughter, decided to go vegan and she gained 20 pounds.
Right.
So this documentary talked about that a little bit. And it talked about how a lot of people, when they go vegan, start eating processed vegan food, which is usually full of sugar and oil.
Or they use oils in their
Or
cooking.
they use a lot of oils in their cooking.
Right.
The thing is if you can cook vegetables with water or vegetable stock,
Right.
or just by themselves.
That's
If you
it.
watch them, you have to stir them because they will burn.
Right.
But
But if you keep a lid on, like for instance, let's use mushrooms and onions for an example. So if you cook mushrooms and onions in a pan with a lid on it,
not at too high heat.
not at too high heat, but the juice that comes off the mushrooms will keep everything wet.
Mm-hmm.
And I've cooked, I used to, back when I was eating meat, I would throw in like ground turkey with broccoli, onions, and mushrooms, and the mushrooms would create so much juice that I could cook without
Without
not
any
have to
more
put
oil.
anything else in it.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's something to consider is that I hear that excuse a lot. Well, I know fat vegans. Okay, yes, you can still eat unhealthy food and,
Yes.
and it can be,
It can be
vegan.
processed because all it's got to do is be plant-based. If it's not an animal product that's vegan, it doesn't mean it's necessarily healthy for
Which
you.
is why we say whole food plant-based because it's different than vegan.
Right.
So we use vegan as shorthand when we're out and talking to people just because it's easier, except then people think we're political and anyway. So you can be fat and vegan, but that you cannot be whole food fat, plant-based and fat. It doesn't work.
Impossible. Yes.
It's impossible. So, the other point it made, I have looking at my notes here, which you can't see because of the bags of stuff, but they made the point that in America, we really try to outsource our health to our doctors.
Right.
Like we expect our doctors to make sure that we're healthy. And I can remember when I was young going to the doctor and they would say, no, you're fine. And I was like, well, the doctor said I was fine. I wasn't fine. There was something wrong. And I had to actually push it. But I had to have the cojones to do that.
Right.
And that's hard. And I think especially as women, we tend to just say, okay, if the doctor said so, then it's so. And that's not true.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's a women or a personality that determines that.
I have a pretty strong personality, and I was still.
Yes, now you do.
You don't think I did?
I don't know.
Didn't know me then?
Exactly. I mean, you told me that a lot of times it's whatever your father said went. So, if he said listen to the doctor, then you probably figured, well, that must be the truth.
Right. And the other issue with that is doctors have no knowledge about nutrition. They aren't taught anything about nutrition.
Not required to take one single course on nutrition.
There's no doubt in my mind that I know more about nutrition than most medical professionals right now.
This documentary, a doctor talked about how in medical school, they teach to treat illnesses with medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they teach. That's what they teach.
Because it's supported by the pharmaceutical companies.
That's because it's supported by the pharmaceutical companies, which are supporting the medical profession.
Right.
So that's just the way it is. But as we said in a couple of, I don't know how many, shows days ago about how
you lose it?
I lost it.
I hate it. I didn't even interrupt you.
I know. I thought about something else and it went. Sorry, folks.
Dr. Greger. No, but we can.
Yes, we can.
That sounds like fun, as long as it's not violent. So don't outsource your health. Be aware.
Right. Now I know what I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
We were talking about how people are living longer. I mean, that's just a fact. The problem is people are spending the last 15 or 20 years of their life in misery. Right. They're on 15 medications. They using walkers. They're in wheelchairs. They climb up stairs and are short of breath. I mean, that's where the pharmaceutical company industry is taking us.
And you guys know the commercial is not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast.
Right.
I feel like it's not how long you live, it's how long you live well.
Right, exactly.
So maybe that'll be our new mantra.
Yes, maybe.
And we'll steal a
So what else you have?
It also says you can't undo 20 years of damage by taking pills and potions and continue to do the same stuff you've been doing.
Right. Which goes to what we just said. That the cure in this country, everybody thinks the cure is just take a pill for it. Yeah.
And even, sorry, my mouth is full of peanut butter and apple. Even the diet industry is about easy and take this shake or take this, energy drink or whatever. Chemicals, all chemicals. How Not to Die. Yep, we've seen that one.
Right. Well, we actually have the book.
We do have the book.
Or the tome.
The tome is a very big book.
Yeah. So we've read the book, definitely.
But yeah, so I really feel like food needs to be our medicine. Hippocrates wasn't wrong.
Right.
So we need to do a better job of that. And I wanted to show you guys, look, my broccoli sprouts are doing really good this time.
Huh.
These are so easy. I bought broccoli seeds on Amazon, and you just throw them in there and you water them, and they do great, and you eat them, and they're really good.
And I mean,
so yeah,
one bag's like a lifetime supply of broccoli seeds.
They're so good. Look at that. Aren't they awesome looking? So excited to eat some of those. So the other thing that I thought about, and this isn't from the video or from the documentary, this was something I thought about today, is when I was in grad school, I obviously did a lot of studying on addiction. I studied alcohol addiction, I studied sex addiction, and I studied drug addiction. And it occurred to me today that the excuses I'm hearing from people about why they don't eat healthy and about why they don't want to give up meat or they can't give up meat are exactly the same words. I'm hearing the same words. Right. And it slays me.
Yeah, we are addicted to meat products, animal products. I mean, that's the Western diet. Mm-hmm. As we said in I don't know if it was this documentary or another one, I talked about how humans can survive on any cultural diet in the world except for one. And the one that they can't survive on is the Western diet. The
standard American diet.
Right.
It'll kill you.
It'll kill you.
So I thought that was interesting, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that information, that I feel like people are using the exact same words to give me reasons why they can't eat healthy as they used to give me for why they can't quit drugs, why they can't quit alcohol, and why they can't give up, unhealthy sex. Yeah. So something to consider. I definitely don't want to discourage people from speaking to me about such things. I definitely do want to hear it. It's just an observation.
And the thing too,
did you use this?
Yes. And the thing is too is that we definitely don't want to be preachy.
No, I don't want to be preachy.
We take everybody's opinions and everybody's point of views, and we'll give our point of view, and everybody has to decide for themselves what is right and what is wrong. Mm-hmm. I think that's very important.
And we're happy to be part of their journey and to help
Right.
them and give them information, which
Right.
is why we give you the cliff notes on documentaries.
Right.
So again, the documentary we watched today is called, or this weekend is called Food Choices. It is long.
Yeah.
And the end of it is, it gets into
The violence of
The violence of
processing animal products.
Yeah.
Yes.
we turn it off. So if you don't need that in your brain, don't watch the very end of the documentary, because we didn't finish it, because like I said, I don't need that in my brain.
Right. Exactly.
So those are our thoughts on all of that. You know that fruits and vegetables are good for you. We're not telling you anything that's news. So eat more of them.
Right. Exactly.
Did you have anything else you wanted
I
to
have
add?
nothing else to add.
You want to eat breakfast?
I want to eat breakfast.
All right.
So with that, we will say, eat food, not too much, mostly
Mostly plants.
plants. Have a great day, guys.
Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.